once more to the Mind Institute, brought to you by nootropicnation.com. Today we're going to talk some more about putting the noots in nutrition, talking about how nutrition plays a role in brain health. We've mentioned choline a lot, especially when we're talking about the racetams and cholinergic substances. Choline is an essential brain nutrient. Our brain is pretty much made of kind of a fatty, blobby substance. Choline and phosphatidylserine are the primary constituents, and it's this the choline is very closely related to the B vitamins, similar lipidinous oily mess there. Um, and it's an essential vitamin, or it's essential nutrient, vital to brain health, but was not only added to the list of dietary requirements by the National Academy of Science as recently as 1998. It's not yet recognized as a member of the B complex, but closely chemically related as far as structure and effects go. Memory issues, difficulty concentrating or remembering, headache, brain fog, mood issues are all possible signs of choline deficiency. And according to some studies, they could affect up to 92% of the world population. Shrimp, eggs, chicken, turkey, fish, beef, collard greens, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. These are all great. A lot of the dark green leafy vegetables. These are all great high dietary choline food sources. Fish oil and lecithin also a great way for improving your choline uptake or intake. So, as we mentioned, the brain not only needs more glucose than the rest of the body, but it really needs choline. It requires choline to function. It's made of choline. Choline is one of the primary constituents of phosphatidylcholine, which is the literal gray matter in our brain. Uh, our brain is, once again, I'm not even going to ask you to pardon the pun, the literal nerve center of our body. And as such, it uses a lot of energy. This coupled with the fact that choline is water soluble as opposed to being fat soluble means you're just gonna literally piss it away. So it can't store in your fat cells like some other vitamins. We can't build a supply of choline that lasts. We're literally going to you know piss it away at the end of the day. Um, Vitamins A and D, you can save a little for a rainy day, not so much with vitamins B and the choline sources. And uh, acetylcholine is a vital neurotransmitter to our body. It's not only necessary for learning and memory consolidation, storage, and recall. It is also it's also involved in fine muscle movement and some other processes to do with movement and our muscles. Acetylcholine is formed in the body through a reaction involving choline and acetic acid. Acetic acid, what's that? Well, you'll find acetic acid at the grocery store, probably near the apple cider vinegar. It'll say diluted to 3 to 7% generally. Yes, white vinegar is just a diluted form of acetic acid, usually, like I said, to 3 to 7%. Um, if you're having fish and chips with some malt vinegar, then you're basically kickstarting the acetylcholine production for your body. Choline is also ancillary to other biochemical processes like methylation. Um, Folate, B6, and B12 are necessary for a lot of nerve functions. And methylation is just one of those. Uh, so phosphatidylcholine is one of the most widespread compounds in all of our living cells, up there with glutamate, in fact. So you can already see why it would be a good idea to maybe supplement with choline, considering the fact most people are deficient anyway, but especially if you're interested in using cognitive enhancers, but especially the cholinergics. So supplemental choline sources, let's talk about that for a minute. FDA recommends 425 milligrams of choline per day. For those of you who aren't getting enough in your diet, maybe consider that, there's an incredible number of people who are suffering from lack of a choline in their diet. And so lecithin, fish oils, or, choline supplements can be a great way to, for just a healthy person who's seeking to make sure they keep their brain healthy, but especially if you're maybe using cholinergic supplements like the racetams. Now, choline citrate and choline bitartrate, they're probably two of the more inexpensive choline supplements. They can increase the body's available choline supply, but they're not really considered nootropic themselves. They're not so much cognitive enhancers as synergistic compounds. They may help other cognitive enhancers work better. For instance, if you take racetams but you don't take enough, have enough choline in your diet, you can have brain fog or headaches, which is going to be definitely against what you're going for. So you definitely want to add choline to your diet, or maybe a choline supplement like citrate or bitartrate. My personal favorite is alpha GPC, alpha glycerophosphocholine, which is actually a highly reformed form of lecithin. Then there's also CDP choline, also known as cytocholine. That's cytidazine phosphocholine. Cytocholine and alpha GPC are both actually considered somewhat nootropic on their own, as well as improving our choline levels and improving the efficacy of racetam or other cholinergic drugs. So cytocholine, in addition to being a choline source and acetylcholine precursor, is also a dopamine precursor. Both alpha GPC and CDP choline have shown to improve endurance, energy, and in some cases mood boosters as well. GPC is highly is a lot better than the citrate or bitartrate in that it easily crosses the blood-brain barrier again as well. So there's going to be greater bioavailability. It doesn't matter how much you stuff in your mouth. What matters is how much of it after you stuff it in your mouth is available to your body, because so many things happen. Our stomach is a furnace, not a literal furnace, but it's built to break things down. And so whatever we take, enzymes and things and stomach acid are going to break it down. So there's so much left after that, and then there's so much left after it, dilutes into our bloodstream, and then so much gets into our brain. And so that's what bioavailability refers to. So if you're planning on adding any kind of cholinergics, like the classic nootropics, piracetam, enaracetam, oxiracetam, or any other related compounds in the racetam family, be sure that you're getting plenty of choline in your diet. Most people aren't already, so just maybe assume that you're not, and eat healthy. Maybe get some lecithin or fish oil and some choline supplements added to your regimen as well. The upmodulation just means making more of it, modulating it to create more. Increased production, that is. Upmodulation of acetylcholine without sufficient choline already in the diet, like we mentioned, can result in choline deficiency, brain fog, headaches, forgetfulness, and even mood issues. Is definitely not what you're going to want to happen if you're taking nootropics to improve your, to get to your peak, or maybe even past what you thought of as your peak. You definitely don't want brain fog. As for choline supplementation safety, choline is not only considered safe, as we mentioned, it's an essential nutrient, not just for adults, but for kids, everybody, especially, kids are in a developmental stage, so they need to make sure they get you know, the B vitamins and the choline and all these things that are necessary for developing brains. Um, However, with anything, whether it's salt or water, you know, there can be unpleasant side effects to overdosing. Did you know that you can die from water intoxication? It causes your brain to swell. You drink so much water that it causes your brain to swell, and you become intoxicated and can die. You know, too much of anything is a bad thing. In the case of choline, too much can result in most commonly some gastric issues, a little bit of stomach upset. Also, though, there's too much choline, just like too little choline, sometimes can result in some minor depressive issues. Uh, Diarrhea sometimes from too much choline has occurred, and way too much choline. It's the same thing with vinegar. I've found vinegar can clean you out. It can be taken as a cleansing type substance, and but you can take so much vinegar that you sweat vinegar and you smell like vinegar. And if you ever heard the saying, you know, piss and vinegar, well, I've been pissing vinegar before because of so much. And the same thing can happen with now this would be an incredibly excessive amount of choline probably, but you can end up even with like a fishy smell as it comes out in your sweat. So, you know, stick with the with anything, stick with the recommended range. Um, Choline, of course, is safe, once again, not only for adults, but children, and wonder of wonders, it's one of the few things that pregnant women not only can safely take, but is encouraged. Um, so, even so, though, whether it's choline or you know, green tea, if especially if you're under a doctor's care, if you're thinking of adding something to your fitness regimen, make sure to get that checked out first and see if it'll be healthy for you, because every body is different. Um, Once again, though, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We'll have lots more videos coming soon. And don't forget to check out nootropicnation.com. One last time, though, this is Philip Fairbanks with the Mind Institute. Until next time.